Hello, my little bricklings, JS Bricks here, and today we're looking at my new custom Lego Batcave. Now, for those of you that don't know, because let's be honest, most people aren't subscribed to my channel. 24% of you are subscribed, and only like one of you actually watch my videos, so not a large enough margin that would know, but I have 3 custom Lego Batcaves on this channel. The first was really tall, the second was really wide, and the third is this one. Now, I have since destroyed the other 2 Batcaves since I didn't quite like how they turned out. And some quick background. This is meant to be a sort of year 1 Batcave, you know? Very early days, younger Bruce, loosely inspired by the Batman 2021, which you'll see with both the Batmobile and the figures. Now, I should point out this comes apart in 2 pieces, like that, which is really nice. We're going to move this piece out of the way for now, and we're just going to focus on the main section of Wayne Manor. Now this section of Wayne Manor actually has 2 floors, and my fucking... No, you know what, never mind. This section of Wayne Manor has 2 floors. The first being Wayne Manor, and the second being the Batcave. So the Batcave's on the bottom, Wayne Manor up top. We're going to begin with the Batcave, because it was the easiest to put together. As you can see, this is actually the gold mine from set number 60188. Most of the base is the Batcave. It's just a gold mine. I was inspired, to use it as a Batcave because it looked kind of cool. So I guess the story in this world is underneath Wayne Manor, there's a gold mine, or an old gold mine that used to exist in the Wayne Manor, and Bruce has since turned that into a gold mine. Now, a lot of the scribbling I can't take too much credit for because it comes in the set. But like I said, I just added this lovely little grass piece here to make it look more run down. A little police sign here, because it's like the classic Batman. It has a lovely entranceway as well. We're gonna take, I don't know, Alfred for example. You can see, you can kind of get a figure in there, sort of, and you get a nice idea for scaling. I do like the bear sign though. It's nice. You can also see how along here I have kept the original brick pieces, but I've added one on top, and a lot of extra greebling has been added to just kind of make it more finished and look nicer with the lighter tan. I also use the brick pieces along here in different alternating colors and positions to give off that idea that, it's a brick wall, but these areas are kind of covered up, and these are kind of damp bricks, sort of like broken down sort of bricks. Coming along the side, you can see where the gold mine used to be. I've kind of just added 2 bricks here, filled in a lot more pieces, made it smoother up the top, and smoothed over the entire top, and added a flower. But yeah, you can see, just to give you an idea of scaling, it's about the size of my stand for figures, so there's that. My lights keep playing up and it's really annoying me. Bringing it around the back, we can actually see the Batcave. So trying not to look into Wayne Manor just yet, we can actually just, get a nice look in here. So to begin, there's this little lab piece, which I believe I put together myself. It has a coffee, some vials, and of course, what's it called? A light microscope with some drawers. Looks pretty nice. And with that out of the way, you can actually see the computer, the Bat computer, pretty well. Again, this is meant to be very much the Batman sort of year 1 sort of Batcave. So loosely inspired by the Batman with that more scruffy sort of militarized feel, but also inspired by year 1. So no fancy computers, just this massive hunk here. It kind of looks like a 1980s computer. Some cassette recorders up here. This was taken from the Antarctic set. That's from a Star Wars set. That's from a Batman. The boat that came with Deathstroke. That's from a Mr. Freeze set. That's from the Antarctic set. That's from the Batman movie. That's from the Batman movie. That's from the Batman movie. That's from Star Wars. And that's from that same set. Yes, I know what all of these are from. They're also from the original Arkham Asylum. To give you a scaling of just how tall this computer is, how big it is, you can take like a figure, sort of put it in there. And you can kind of see how tall it is. You can just about get a figure to reach out to the monitors if they stay in place. It's only held on by a few studs. So yeah, but you can kind of get the idea of how big this is. It's meant to be oversized, it's not meant to be professional. That's why we just sort of got this lab table in here. And you can see I have actually kept this cave piece here facing in, just to add a little bit more extra greebling, as most of the sides are kind of, stationary. There are some chains hanging from the roof, so there's one there, and there's a longer one here because, well, I was listening to Alex Cooper's Poison, And there's loads of chains and kinky stuff in that video, so I thought, chains in the Batcave. There's some scaffolding here with a little ledge. I suppose you can, I guess, pose a figure up there. I'm not sure why you'd want to. Taking that off, we can actually spin around this side to find some air conditioning, the inside of this area, and a little batsuit holder. So here, it's harder to get in there. But you can sort of see it is just the regular 1 stud thick door piece, and I've added a stud on the inside. No, sorry, it's the 2x2 2 stud thick door piece, and I've added a 4x4, a 2x4 tile that slides through there. And there's obviously again some brick build up there, which I think looks really nice. And we can just take, the batsuit, slide it in there. It's very hard to get my hands in there because I have massive fucking hands. Like, this is a pain. But you can get it in there. And it looks really nice. Again, not very professional looking. It's not meant to be. This is Earth 1. You can have it on the first stud there, which looks alright. But personally, I would rather try to keep it a bit further back on the second set of studs. Once again, it's bloody hard for me to get my fingers. So with that done, you can see how he kind of just rests up in there. And you can sort of have, like, I don't know, Alfred coming in and looking at the suit. You can see it's not that far up, so that's nice. And of course, I added these pieces here. Just to give, like, I guess the implication of a gateway, because there is another half that comes with the set. And, well, not the set, but with my custom. And you can see it's a nice big doorway for a character to go through. This is here, so the other part can connect easy. I don't know why I keep saying set, it's not a set. Coming up to the top, however, so just bringing this all up to confront Wayne Manor. Now, this is kind of inspired by several different things, this iteration of Wayne Manor. What I wanted to go for, and again with that Earth, that very sort of year 1 Bruce, is at this stage, Bruce, I don't want to say doesn't know what he's doing, but he's very much young, into crime fighting, He's not got that whole Bruce Wayne identity grounded yet. He's very much Batman, Batman, Batman all the time. Bruce Wayne's not really founded yet. And, he's been out around the world. So Wayne Manor's very decrepit. It's falling apart. He doesn't take much care of Wayne Manor. He's just driven by vengeance. So he's kind of left Wayne Manor to fall to shambles. And yeah, that's sort of what it was. You see, I've used the reddish-brown bricks from the, I believe it was the Lego modular sort of skate park. Again, you can see how it lines up. It's single brick difference here. And we got this brown stud here to maybe represent some mold. You can see the ledge here, and then the ledge here, but it's come off and there's some plants here. They're growing out. You can see how this part would have maybe been like that, to maybe have like a nose, like a frontal pillar for the house, but, it's just fallen into disrepair without, any care really. It's got some holes coming through. We got some vines growing on the windows. The windows are massive. Like these windows. Huge. Size of figures. You can also see that I've got some brown curtains in there, which was an interesting build. I can't remember what exactly inspired me to build those. Oh, it was the Adam West Wayne Manor, that was it. But yeah, so that's sort of that part. You can kind of come up here, where we've got, again, the balcony of Wayne Manor. You can also actually see some of those reddish-brown bricks in here, which obviously I used to give bricking. Still needs bricks, but the reddish-brown ones made more sense. And you can see just how this balcony is kind of chipped away in the corner, and there's a leaf. And it's very nicely tiled off, I think, from the rest of the set. I think this might be my tallest Batcave, maybe. But you can see, again, just some vents. This one's, like, not really vents, but, like, greavlings kind of falling off there, with some grass growing out. Chips in the balcony. If you actually look on the balcony, so if you can see how, we've got some mold here, some there. We've got windows going into Wayne Manor. And the roof itself, this was a pain in the ass to do. What is it? It's 3 tiles thick. You got all these little ones along here to kind of represent like that chipping, I guess. Some vines on the roof, the chimney, and of course you can actually put a figure up here, which looks really nice. There's only 1 stud, but I guess it looks nice to have a figure up there. Maybe you could have Batman on the roof posing or something because he's edgy. Bringing it around to the side, you can actually see how I built all this. So it is very much 3 blocks deep. And the windows are just slid in. You can actually see that same on the other side. And bringing it around to the back, we can see the interior of Wayne Manor. Now, it is very lackluster. I gotta say, I struggled putting this together. But we got some good stuff. So for starters, we have got these pillars here, which are supposed to represent, in-world pillars that kind of hold Wayne Manor roof up. We can take those out of the way. They're just holding by two studs. With those out of the way, we can bring ourselves in a bit further and take a look at what's in Wayne Manor. To begin, I'm quite impressed with how the floor turned out. So, we got some diffs colouring on the bricks here. Like, lighter, nougat, and tan ones, and tan tiles. Just kind of represent, like, the floorboards kind of rotted or it's just not been maintained. We've got a stack of papers here because Bruce doesn't really keep good track of letters. Plywood sort of thing that's been nailed to the floor. The clock, the classic sort of Batcave clock. Can't send the figure down, it's way too small, but it's just a nod, I guess, to, like, just classic Batman. There's some stacks of boxes here. Got a little letter box here, which has got a bowl of soup and a radio. It just felt a lot like Bruce just to leave his soup out to get cold. There's a lovely chandelier build, which I didn't have to do, but I did. It works out really well for a fuzz sort of thing. And you can see I have actually chipped away at the walls. And you can see there's some tan bricks back here to kind of represent how the wallpaper or the wall meshings just this place isn't holding well together. It is coming apart. Bruce is focused too much on mission. Up here you can see we've got a cobweb, a sort of vine, money, another one of those. And you can actually see the window here is chipped away, one stud. Some green here, and this window piece actually goes right out through the set. So there is, broken windows, which I think it all just comes together to give this very decrepitated building. Like, if you saw this, you would immediately assume, right, yeah, Bruce doesn't look after his house. And, of course, there's the desk, which I believe I built this desk myself. It started as the Hagrid desk from the Harry Potter set, but I have modified it to have two drawers, sort of like under area, we could put legs, some newspapers, the classic Adam West phone, and a little candle, because Bruce lives by candlelight. Now, you can take the Bruce Wayne figure, slightly inspired, well, mostly inspired by the Batman, and sit him in right there. Now, a main problem I have with this build is this floor isn't very stable. You can see I am pushing it all the way down. But, I'm not a master builder. And he does look quite comfortable in there. And that is the first real major part of Wayne Manor. Without any exemptions, this is what my custom Wayne Manor looks like. This is my personal favorite iteration. First one was tall, but it was very thin. It didn't have much stabling. This one's tall, but it has a lot of stabling. It's it's going to come together in certain places, and other places not so. It doesn't hold together as well. The third one was the second one was way too thick, and I had too much going on. This is nice. It's simpler, and I think it looks better. Now, moving the main section, I guess we could just tug it to the back, and we can bring in this second section. So there were a few things I wanted to include in the Batcave that couldn't be included. An area for the Batmobile, a gym, some weapons, stuff like that, but I couldn't include them in the main section over there. So I built this. So beginning from the bottom up, you can see, it's still got those grey bricks here, just for, greebling. Got another one here, and it all comes together nicely. These bricks do align with the rest of the ones there, which we'll see in a minute, but I kept that kind of discoloration up, as well as some vines. Now, it doesn't have a complete roof. I was originally going to do an extension to Wayne Manor, but looking at the Adam West classic series Batcave, where it had like the helicopter landing pad, and Wayne Manor was just all the way at the top, I kind of felt like it doesn't need to be added. We could just leave it as it is. Now, bringing it around to the side, you can see we've got these grates here, and we can take the Batmobile out. We'll look at that separately. You can see we've got these grating pieces here, which, this one's inside out. Hold up. Yeah, so we've got these scaffolding pieces, which just make it have that rudimentary feel. Now, if we do go under there, which is going to be very difficult to get us under there we go. We're underneath. We can actually see that back there. There are some trophies. We have a letter. I think this might be like Thomas Wayne's will. Some kind of jiu-jitsu thing to show that he's a ninja. And a Joker card, because even in year one, I like to imagine the Joker wearing his crazed head. And there's, of course, some kind of greebling back there for a pipe. And, yes, some more chains, because Alice Cooper's poison. This chain's, I think it's one of the longer ones. But yeah, it looks nice under there. It's nice. It's long, and I think it just works. I like the siding here. Just that extra little bit of detail with these nice, smooth pieces. Now, coming up top, we've got all the things I wanted to include in the original, but couldn't. The original being that tall one, with the Wayne Manor on top. That being a gym and an armory. The armory was ripped straight from the Batman Clayface Invasion. I've just kept it as it is. Slightly modified it a bit, but it fits here, nice and smooth like. We also have these weights, which have been in all 3 iterations of the Batcave, including this one now. We've got these Harry Potter sort of tires, which are on the... I believe I got them from the Harry Potter 9 3/4 expansion sort of thing. No expansion, but it was a poly bag where you could get Hedwig. And yeah, to show you the scale, looks nice. We got the gym, this area from also the same Batman Clayface Invasion, where you can kind of just put a figure, lay him down, have him do some reps, maybe 40 reps off, I don't know, 2.5 plus 5, 7.5. Yeah, something like that. And kept the classic punch bag, which could still be moved to the side for extra room, but it hangs there. I like the way that turned out. There's also a small computer back here because Bruce is always alert. Stuff. And my main inspiration for this was to have this massive hall here where figures can sort of just look down on the Batcave. I really like how that turned out. This entire section, it's great. Now, as previously mentioned, it is designed to hold a Batmobile, and that Batmobile is here. Again, you could see the inspiration from the Batman movie coming out, not this year, next year, 2022. This is the Ghost Rider car. I've taken out the stud shooters and just finned it off with these tiles. Finned these off with the tiles, smoothened it up. I think the way I have the tiles now, it's a little bit of greebling that works. It looks nice. We've got the thicker bumper, which the Batmobile has in the movie. The fins, I know they're meant to be going up, not down, but I did just like how this works, and it kind of just has this feel to it. However, I have got the engine in place, so that's good, and it's got, the little pumps. I don't know what they're called. I don't really do cars. But yeah, you got these little just pieces of greebling, and it looks all right. It's small. Batman fits in there, and you can just slide it in. Now, it's not as wide as I thought it would be. It's actually a stud on either side thinner. However, it is a bit longer than the build. So you can see it sticks out just a bit. However, it does go right back. And from over top, you can see the engine, which I think looks nice. And you can see how it just sort of puts in there. If I move the trophy system around, I might be able to push it back a bit further. But it's fine how it is. I also wanted to mention, there's a brick there, in there, and some tans. Now, bringing this over with this, what we're going to do is we're going to turn it around like so. And this should give you an idea of how everything goes together. So, take you out for now. This area here is hollow. There's nothing in here. There's no studs. It's loose. What this allows me to do is literally just bring it over to where this is and slide it in. Like that. Done. Slides in nicely. Now, it's not held together by anything, meaning you can just knock it off. But it looks nice. I think it flows well. So you can see... It's stood up now. You can see how it flows from Wayne Manor perfectly into the little, just separate area for the Batmobile. If everything will come together nicely. And you can also see just how it's lined up with the studs. Just these perfectly line up with the corners. And you can get a figure through. And I think like this, I think the set looks more complete to me, like this. It feels a lot livelier. It feels bigger. And I think this is complete. I think this is how I'd like to have it. To show you what that looks like from around the front. My main problem was if it would detract from the set. Well, I keep saying set. I'm used to saying set. My main problem was if it would detract from the mock. And it really doesn't. The brick features, it fits the sort of, my tripod is seriously fucking with me now. The, cave part, it fits in nicely. The colors line up. The greebling lines up. Having these either side of the door works. Now, it is a stud forward, as you can see. But I don't think that detracts from the set, and I think it actually gives it an interesting depth. So I think the brown piece comes right across like that. And yeah, it does look nice. It looks like it belongs here. Yeah, taking this right out. It looks like it belongs. and it feels right. But maybe I haven't got room for it to be displayed like this on my shelves. So what I can always do is bringing us back around here and taking this. It is entirely possible to connect it this way. Now this is even looser, but what it does is you line it up and it hooks in. Now what's keeping that in place is where the armory is. You have these arms, these little arms on the side of the droid arms on the armory, which just kind of lock it in place like that. And of course there's this here, this little part here, knob where I've used the connector piece. So it does sink in like that. I don't necessarily like this as much, because, you know, Bruce Wayne looking over the armory doesn't look as good. And you can't get into the Batcave as easily. But from the Batcave, it does look slightly nice. I guess, having it this way. It's nice to see the whole Batcave, like if I spin it around carefully. Carefully! There we go. If I spin it around over here, it is nice to sort of just be able to look straight through. And how does it look from this side? Well, like I said, it's not the most stable. But from this angle, I think it sticks out a little bit too much. So personally, while it's possible, I think it does just look nicer to have the whole thing locked on the side here as intended, like so, and maybe have the Batmobile out front, which is how I display the set on my shelves. I think it looks really good. It's a hard set to put together, but it looks nice. Now, I did show there are a couple figures lying around the place. I'm just going to show you these quickly because they're not important, but the first one up is this custom, what's his name? Alfred Pennyworth, played by Andy Serkis. I think it just looks like Andy Serkis. It doesn't necessarily look like Alfred so much as it looks like Andy Serkis, just being Andy Serkis. But I think it works. It looks nice. It's great for what I was going for. Then, within the Batcave itself now, well, at least within Wayne Manor, if I get my hands back here, bring the chair with you, Bruce. We obviously have the custom Bruce Wayne. I'm trying to get off the chair. Here he is. Again, inspired by the Batman, you can see with the trench coat, the green tie. This is from the scene in the trailer where he pushes the boy out of the way of the car. I'm not sure about the hairpiece face choice, but I do like the hairpiece. I think it looks nice. And the back suit, I will just get now. And here's the bat suit. Just using, you know, I think this is the most common way people have built him. I use the shorter cowl, the white eyes, the spy trousers, the brown belt, Tom Holland's Spider-Monkey's Night Monkey, torso, and these arms. So yeah, there's that. So, overall, that's the mock. You know, loosely inspired by the Batman 2021. Very loosely inspired by the Batman 2021. Mainly just in the figures in the car, actually. But it's the third iteration of the Batcave that I've made. This one including Wayne Manor. It's grey instead of tan. It's longer. It's not as tall. I mean, it's not as long or tall as the other ones, but it's more compact. Looks nice on shelves. Has two separate parts which can be easily separated to have two different things on display if I want. And yeah, let me know what you think about this down below in the comments, please. I'm after some gratification for this. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've made a custom Batcave, send a link to that video. I'll be more than happy to watch. And before I leave, just want to give you some facts about this. Namely, it took about 6 days to make this. 6 days, well, not 6 days actually. I think it took about, to make this section here, this side section, only took about 4 days. It took about 4 days to do this, but that was not really, you know, working through 4 days. That was more like a couple hours this day, a couple this hours this day, a couple hours this day to make that. Only 20 minutes to put that together. And for the main Batcave, it took me about a month to do this because it went through so many iterations. I wanted it to be longer, I wanted it to be wider, I wanted it to be taller, I want certain things in Wayne Manor. It took so long, especially getting this front part of Wayne Manor and the curtains. It took a little over a month, and that includes some solid days of working because it went through so many iterations, but this is the one I went with. So yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.